dealing with Dothan, in dealing with Dothan, Numbers chapter 16, Chorus in the chorus and their company in what they had done. If you go there, as he finished speaking in verse 31, all this was the ground that was under them split open, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up and their households. Remember, he separated them clan by clan, and he put all of them together, and they perished from the midst of the assembly. All Israel who were around them fled at their outcry, for they said, the earth may swallow us up. Fire also came forth from the Lord and consumed the 250 men who were offering the incense. That's why I'm telling you, all these people lying to the people and telling them they can bow down to a statue of Mary and then they can be saved and their prayers. I say, call all of them, let them come. Maybe we should command the Lord and ask the Lord, sorry, not to command the Lord, ask the Lord and command the ground to open up his mouth and see who we will swallow up. Or let the fire come from heaven and see who we could swallow up. Lying to the people and telling them lies. The challenging Moses, and they claim to be men of God. And when the Lord showed up, who was swallowed then? And who was consumed by fire? Was it Moses? And if you read more from there, you will also see how the people turned out and begin to grumble against Moses and accusing him of being responsible for what has happened. Just like some people might say, well, you pray to God and then somebody's life and somebody's life was taken. By making such a grumbling, so you are challenging God too and questioning God's decision. Did I point gun on somebody's head or use any weapon? The Lord made a choice. The person challenged God and was depending on some power, and the Lord took his life. Then why are you grumbling? If you read further, you see how they started grumbling against Moses, and they were bedeviled with a disease that was to wipe out the entire Israel before Moses ran and Aaron, and they ran to intervene in order to save them. So you will see in verse 39, I want to point out something very, very critical here. Then, in verse 36, then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, say to Eleazar the priest, the son of Aaron the priest, that he shall take up the censers. The censers, I remember when we were serving Mass, what we call incense boats. We put the incense that they use, which is a tradition from the old, censers out of the midst of the blaze after the fire consumed them, because these are all people that also serve on the altar and help in one way or another in the general assembly of Israel. What did God do? He told Eleazar to bring the censers out from them. They were already burnt. These men who have sinned at the cost of their lives, those who were destroyed, like the CEO of YouTube that just passed away, that was taken out, like others. The landlord I told you that was taken out by the angel of the Lord because they were doing things that are sinful and evil in the sight of the Lord. And they were given a chance to repent and they refused to repent. And the Lord took them. So you see, here, as for the censers that was born among them, let them be made into hammered sheets for a plating of the altar, since they did not present them before the Lord, and they are holy, and they shall be for a sign to the sons of Israel. So Eleazar the priest took the bronze censers, which the men who were born had offered, and they were hammered you know you are unrighteous and you know the state of your mind, and you show up in the presence of God who is holy and righteous, trying to prove what? To offer incense offering to God. And what happened to them when they were concerned? But you see, he took the censer and then, as a sign for them, and placed them on the altar, as a reminder to the sons of Israel that no layman who is not of the descendant of Aaron should come near the burnt incense before the Lord, so that he will not become like Korah and his company, just as the Lord had spoken to him through Moses. I want you to listen because a lot of people are enjoying the precious grace, mercy of God, that Jesus Christ is around. For those that are not called by God, and they claim to be called by God, and they come to offer whether it's Holy Communion or come to the presence of the Lord to act as priests. That's what these men did. That was their sin. Oh, we are men of God too, because you play one part or the other. Pope Francis is planning to make women priests, and then deacons and priests. And that's a complete violation of the command of the Lord. And then he tried to make them to offer and sit on the altar in the Holy of the Holies. And oh yes, we have Jesus Christ. Did Christ change that? That if they come through Christ, does that make them in the gift? Did they receive that particular gift to be anointed? Why should he do that? Who gave him the power to do so? Just because they lean in their own understanding. He did that as a sign to the people so that nobody should come and say they are Aaron. They are not the same as the priests or the sons or the member of the tribes of the priest. If God have not called you as a priest, why do you claim to be one? If he's not called you in the particular gift, why will you want to claim it? Because you want to. You want to serve God. You couldn't think about all the things you could do to serve God, where God has given you the power and the authority to do so. But you just want to step into that particular position that was not given to you by God. Why not even ask God to call you? These lies, manipulating the people, deceiving the people, and people are going with them into such a places that it just warned you, don't go in there. Because they say